Chosen soul, hear this with the deepest part of your being, because what I am about to share is not for the careless or the doubtful. It is a direct summons from heaven itself, a whisper that carries the weight of eternity, and it is meant for you alone, not for the crowd, not for those who scoff or dismiss, but for the one who has been marked by divine intention. And here is the truth. The Creator is asking you to remain in bed, to rest in a way that feels radical, to lay down all striving and movement. Not as punishment, not as laziness, but as sacred obedience to a higher unfolding plan that is greater than your own imagination. And if you resist this instruction, if you choose to keep forcing your will and pressing forward in restless disobedience, then you risk missing the most defining shift of your entire life, the moment that heaven itself has prepared for you. And right now, your body, your mind, and your spirit are crying out for this sacred pause, this holy stillness, a time when you are called to surrender completely to the rhythm of divine restoration. So understand this clearly. You are not being told to sleep out of weakness. You are being invited to obey, to align yourself with the vast orchestration of the universe that is moving pieces unseen, shifting circumstances you cannot yet perceive, because God is pressing reset on your life, granting you a divine intermission where the chosen within you will awaken in power. And if you truly believe you are chosen, then you will take this command seriously. You will not trivialize it. You will yield to this supernatural instruction and let your soul be recharged for the destiny that is already on its way. But be warned, ignoring this directive and continuing to grind against the flow will only delay your breakthrough and could even turn the blessings meant for you into chaos and disorder. So, before anything else, before you move forward another second, pause this video, press that like button, subscribe so you can walk this journey with us as our family moves toward 90,000 souls. Join together and type the number 99 in the comments, because that number is not random. It is a divine key, a spiritual signal that opens gates in the unseen and magnifies the vibration of this very moment. And if you resist, if you scoff, if you fail to take this seriously, you might not even make it to the end of this message. But if you lean in, if you obey with humility, your life will never be the same again, for the divine shift has already arrived. But it is reserved only for those willing to rest in faith. So do not rebel, do not dismiss this, do not argue, just surrender, because tomorrow carries with it a command like no other, a sacred decree straight from the throne of heaven demanding your absolute obedience. Stay in bed, yield your body fully to stillness, let go of every distraction, and allow yourself to be immersed in the supernatural strength that only comes through holy rest. This is not a polite suggestion, it is not advice. It is an urgent decree over your destiny, and to resist it is to close the door on your own healing, to invite unnecessary consequences that will slow your breakthrough. So see your body as a temple, and tomorrow as the day God Himself instructs you to close the doors, dim the lights, and let nothing intrude upon your sanctuary. This day has been carved out of eternity for you to step away from the noise, to disconnect from the chaos of the world, to lay down the burdens of striving, because this pause is more than inactivity. It is a sacred act of faith, And the divine is asking you to trust this process so deeply that you recognize even the smallest distraction could unravel the mighty work that heaven is arranging inside you. So think of it as a holy quarantine, a rare moment set apart where your quiet obedience makes room for miracles that cannot be born in noise or busyness. And though most people underestimate how deeply their body and soul long for this kind of rest, tomorrow for you, chosen one, rest is not just good advice, it is your weapon, and to refuse it is no longer an option, because like a seed buried in the earth, your miracle must remain hidden for a season, untouched by the outside world, shielded from light and noise, until it is strong enough to break through with something extraordinary. And so the command is clear: stay in bed, do not resist, or face the price of missing your destiny, for tomorrow is not simply another day on the calendar. It is a divinely marked moment, reserved for your healing, your reset, your restoration, unlike anything you have ever lived through before. And you, the chosen one, must carry the responsibility of this sacred appointment with reverence. For heaven itself has set aside this time to restore you in body, in heart, in mind, and in spirit. And it is as if the throne room of God has orchestrated a massive reset button with your name on it. So receive it as though you have been given a personal retreat, created not by human hands, but by divine design. No meetings, no social obligations, no meaningless chatter, nothing to dilute the holiness of this moment, only pure, unbroken rest, because this day is not ordinary, it is supernatural, and as you lie down in obedience, your cells will be infused with renewal. Your mind will find clarity you have long prayed for, and your spirit will be refilled with light from above. And understand this: the holiness of this moment means it cannot be shared, cannot be divided. It is a sacred chamber in time, created only for you. And if you have ever carried exhaustion that words cannot explain, or burdens so heavy no one else can see, tomorrow is the day when those invisible weights will finally begin to lift, because God's healing is about to wash over you like a tide, both gentle and mighty, renewing every fiber of your being and preparing you for the breakthrough that has been waiting on the other side of your surrender. This is your sacred assignment, and you must embrace it fully. And yes, it may seem strange to call sleeping all day the most important act of faith in your life, but right now it is exactly that, because when you let go of control, when you surrender your will and allow your spirit and body to sink fully into rest, what you are truly declaring is, God, I trust you without condition. And such radical trust creates the open channel for divine energy to flood your life, to heal wounds you were not even aware of. And although our world constantly glorifies hustle, productivity, and non-stop movement, heaven flips that script entirely, teaching us that true strength is not in relentless action, but in radical rest. For this is not weakness, it is power. It is the boldest spiritual move you can make, and by closing your eyes, you are aligning with a force greater than any work your hands could accomplish. Think of the stories of Scripture where great revelation came only after rest. Even the Son of God himself withdrew to silent places to pray and be restored. So tomorrow, your bed becomes your altar, your sleep becomes your offering, and your stillness becomes the soil where destiny takes root. And yes, guilt may try to creep in. Impatience may whisper that you are wasting time, But release those voices, because your obedience to rest is unlocking gates you cannot yet see. And tomorrow's miracle requires your full attention, your complete withdrawal from all distractions. Because phones, endless scrolling, idle conversations, even the smallest chores could steal the holy energy meant for your healing. And divine recovery is fragile. It must be guarded with intention, like a broken bone that cannot mend if constantly moved. Your soul needs absolute stillness for restoration to take root. And if you choose busyness over obedience, you will fracture the process, delaying your breakthrough and even risking greater harm. So know this is your once-in-a-lifetime invitation to step into God's hidden sanctuary, and the cost of distraction is immeasurable. But the reward of obedience is more abundant than you can imagine. So guard your energy fiercely, for this is your chance to taste divine restoration at a level most people never touch. And preparation will make all the difference in ensuring tomorrow is holy. So gather what you need today. Keep water nearby for hydration, because water is a conductor of spiritual and physical renewal. Prepare simple, nourishing food that can sustain you without pulling you away from rest. Set your space with intention, dim the lights, gather soft blankets, perhaps play calming sounds, or embrace silence. Let your bed transform into a sanctuary, a holy chamber of healing where you will not be interrupted. Silence your phone, set boundaries with those around you, Explain that tomorrow you are unavailable because you are honoring something sacred. Treat this as you would a spiritual ceremony where every detail matters, because your preparation is a visible sign of your devotion to God's command. And in shaping your surroundings, you are aligning your entire environment with the miracle that is about to unfold. Solitude will be your ally, though it may feel unfamiliar or even uncomfortable. But know that tomorrow, being alone, is the key that allows heaven to work without interference. It is in isolation that your inner sanctuary reconnects with divine power, free from draining voices, free from the pull of others. And in this solitude, your soul will hear the whispers of heaven more clearly than ever. This is not loneliness. It is presence. It is holy focus. It is the condition where transformation thrives. And across ages, saints and seekers alike have testified to the power of solitude, from prophets in the desert to sages in stillness. Tomorrow, you join their lineage by stepping away from the crowd. And though it may feel hard, remember this: your breakthrough is waiting just beyond the veil of noise, in the stillness of your retreat. As you enter into this sacred retreat of stillness, prepare yourself for the waves of sensation that may come, because when heaven begins to heal you from the inside out, your body, your emotions, and your spirit will all feel the movement of transformation. You might suddenly find yourself overwhelmed by tears that seem to come from nowhere, or waves of emotion breaking loose from places long buried. But these tears are not weakness. They are sacred release, a washing away of pain you have carried silently, and you may feel chills running across your skin as though fire and wind are meeting within you. These are the signals that energy is shifting, that heaven's hand is working deeply in your cells, your muscles, your mind, and even your memories. You might experience hunger that feels unusual, almost like a craving that comes in unexpected waves. But understand this too is holy. It is your body demanding fuel as it rebuilds itself under divine instruction. So do not resist, do not fear. Instead, welcome every sensation as evidence that your restoration is alive and active. Because many who walked this path before you have described it as a spiritual detox, a holy cleansing where old weights and ancient wounds are drawn out, purged, and replaced with the breath of new life. So if you feel surges of emotion or sudden exhaustion or even moments of disorientation, do not panic, do not quit. Trust the process, for healing rarely flows in straight lines. It comes in cycles, in layers, in rhythms, designed by heaven itself. And you will notice this rhythm as you sleep. Wake briefly, hydrate, maybe eat lightly, and then return to sleep again, over and over, like waves washing the shore, each cycle taking you deeper into renewal. And though part of you may long to break away from this rhythm, to get up and do something, resist, because God has designed this pattern intentionally. So each time you drift off, you descend into a deeper chamber of healing. Each awakening is preparation for another descent. And though it may frustrate you to not sleep straight through, or to wake when you wish you could remain unconscious, trust this is heaven's timing, perfect in its design. And know that each surrender adds another layer of strength, clarity, and restoration. This is your act of obedience, your part in the miracle. So hold steady and let patience do its work, because in this surrender, your destiny is being rebuilt. And while you lie in rest, you are not unprotected, for the highest heavens have already dispatched Archangel Michael himself to guard you. This mighty warrior stands by your side, not as a distant myth, but as a living shield. His sword raised, his presence fierce, cutting away fear, driving out darkness, silencing every whisper of discouragement. So imagine him there, stationed like your personal bodyguard from heaven. No enemy spirit, no toxic energy, no lurking doubt can pierce through his protection. And when you feel sudden peace flood your chest, or courage rising where fear once lived, know this is his presence, strengthening you, his hand steadying you. And when the temptation to get up, to check your phone, to distract yourself begins to creep in, call on his strength, and he will fortify your resolve, reminding you that obedience is the only path to breakthrough. Countless others before you have felt the same covering, a supernatural calm sweeping over them like a blanket of peace. And that too is Michael at work, heaven's champion stationed for your healing, because you are chosen, and chosen ones do not walk this path unguarded. So release all fear, all doubt, knowing that nothing on earth or in the spiritual realm can interrupt the miracle now unfolding within you. For throughout this day of holy rest, a sacred energy will wrap around you like an atmosphere, filling the very air with God's living light. It will not just be an idea, it will be tangible, felt in your skin as a warmth that seeps through, or as a subtle vibration humming through your body. Evidence that divine presence is not distant, but pressing into every fiber of your being, cleansing, renewing, rejuvenating. You may sense waves of peace rising and falling, or a gentle tingling like electricity flowing lightly around you, and even flickers of inner vision, as though light is shimmering behind your eyes. All of it confirmation that heaven is touching you directly. So rest without fear, for you are being cradled in divine hands, wrapped in mercy and grace, cocooned in a holy shield where only healing can enter. This is more than recovery, this is rebirth. So let yourself lean fully into this cocoon, because your surrender invites the Creator to restore you beyond what you have ever experienced before. And soon, the first visible sign will emerge, reflected in your very skin. That outer covering of your temple will begin to glow with youth, with softness, with vitality, almost as if the morning sun has kissed your face after a long night. Dullness will fade, blemishes will soften, and your reflection will reveal something sacred, not just beauty, but a covenant, a visible mark that the work inside is manifesting outside. You will look into the mirror and see not just yourself, but the evidence of God's love renewing you. This radiance is the announcement that deeper restoration is underway, and as your skin glows, your muscles too will begin their renewal. Fibers, once weary and frayed, will be rewoven with threads of strength, and you may feel a release of tightness, a gentle surge of power returning to your limbs. A reminder that this is no ordinary healing, but a holy refueling, preparing you for the days ahead when you will rise with the strength you thought you had lost. For though you are resting now, your body is already rehearsing resurrection, gathering force in silence, readying itself for your return to movement and trust. This is not wasted time, but sacred preparation, like the gathering of clouds before rain. Heaven is storing energy in you that will pour forth soon. And even more awe-inspiring is what will happen within your mind, because the renewal will not stop at your body. It will reach into your thoughts, your emotions, your creativity, as if the clock itself is being wound back, granting you mental sharpness, emotional freshness, and clarity you have not felt in years. Fog will lift, worries that clung like shadows will vanish. Your imagination will ignite again, and joy will spring where heaviness once sat. It will feel like stepping out of winter into spring, every thought brightened, every idea crisp, your perspective reborn. And this will not only restore you, it will awaken a new you, one who carries wisdom from the past, but energy like youth. And as this day concludes, you will find yourself unveiled, the layers of exhaustion and limitation falling away to reveal your truest self, radiant, vibrant, undeniable. And those around you will notice. They will sense your presence has shifted. They will feel the light you carry, see it in your eyes, your smile, the way you stand. For this is God illuminating His fingerprint upon you, showing the world you are not just healed, but awakened, chosen, alive, and ready for destiny. And after this unveiling, prepare yourself, for the greatest breakthrough is about to burst forth. Tomorrow's rest is not an end, but the doorway to unimaginable blessing, favor, and expansion. It will touch every corner of your life, health, relationships, purpose, even peace, like the dawn exploding into colors after the darkest night. So too will your breakthrough arrive with brilliance, undeniable and unstoppable, because heaven has been preparing you for this exact moment. And as you step into it, you will be astonished by the strength, the clarity, and the joy rising in you. So brace yourself to fully embrace restoration, because the miracle is not coming someday. It is here now, and beneath this rest lies treasure, hidden blessings, designed only for this hour, reserved for your obedience. And as you surrender, you will find them unfolding. Blessings that arrive as whispers of peace, sudden joy, or clarity, opening doors in your heart. It will feel as though a vault inside you is unlocking, spilling grace, favor, and possibilities you never expected. Your spirit lighter, your faith deeper, your hope stronger, and you will see new opportunities forming, relationships healing, wisdom flowing, all in alignment with heaven's timing, because God has stored these gifts for this exact moment of surrender. And as you rest, you are gathering seeds that will multiply across your life, carrying abundance into your future. This is not temporary relief. It is a deposit into your destiny, so receive it with gratitude, protect it with faith, and let it become the foundation of the life that is rising before you. This sacred day of rest is not simply about closing your eyes. It is about a total recharge of your entire being. As though your body were a battery long drained by years of stress, worry, striving, and now heaven itself reconnects you to an endless source of power. So expect when you awaken that you will not just feel rested, but supernaturally energized, carrying vitality that seems beyond the ordinary. And understand, this is not like a quick nap or a cup of coffee. This is deep replenishment that penetrates soul and body, fueling you for weeks, even months for the journey ahead. Your stamina will rise, your focus sharpen, and your motivation ignite like fire, giving you strength to pursue dreams that once felt too heavy, and even your emotional energy will be transformed, so that instead of collapsing under stress, you will meet challenges with calm confidence, decisions with clarity, and obstacles with renewed courage. For this is not just sleep. This is a holistic revival orchestrated by the Creator. And as you anticipate this surge, prepare yourself. Set your heart with expectation. Keep distractions far from you, because every moment spent in this obedience is pouring new power into your future. And though you may feel weak right now, tomorrow you will feel reborn, as if you have passed through fire and emerged as a warrior tempered in strength. And know this strength is not brute force, but divine empowerment, a steady courage, an unshakable resilience, the quiet but unbreakable assurance that you are protected, chosen, and sent for higher purpose. It is the kind of strength that breaks chains, that confronts giants, that shifts destinies. And just as heroes of old did not rely on their own might, but on heaven's hand, so you too will find that this warrior spirit within you comes not from yourself, but from God's restoration. And when you rise, you will walk as one unstoppable, prepared to claim the victories already written for you. But use this strength with humility, with wisdom, knowing it is gift. For your breakthrough is not only about healing, it is the awakening of a force inside you that will change everything. And during this day, you may notice small but undeniable signs that heaven's hand is actively at work. Subtle miracles woven into your experience, not always loud or dramatic, but clear in their effect. Maybe a sudden idea, a deep wave of peace, an unexpected answer to a prayer. These are not accidents. They are confirmations that you are cared for, guided, aligned, and many before you have testified to whispers of angels, warmth rushing through them, or little events that redirected their lives. So pay attention, watch closely, let your heart remain open, for these signs are holy milestones, proving that destiny is unfolding, and among these promises is the opening of provision. Yes, as God restores your body, He is also moving behind the scenes to release resources, opportunities, and abundance into your life. Financial doors you never imagined will begin to open. Unexpected provision will find its way to you, perhaps in the form of opportunities, unexpected gifts, debts lifted, or jobs revealed. But however it comes, know that heaven's abundance is limitless and your season of lack is ending. So rest in confidence that as you obey, you are also stepping into prosperity, for history is full of testimonies where divine provision came in the moment of greatest need. And tomorrow, you are joining that story, stepping into a new chapter where peace replaces worry and scarcity is overcome by plenty. But remember, this restoration is bigger than finances, bigger than health. It is preparing you for spiritual ascension, to elevate your soul into deeper awareness, deeper clarity, and deeper connection with God. This day is a gateway into realms of faith and purpose you have never known. You will begin to see with divine eyes, understanding your path with certainty, perceiving life not through fear, but through trust. And as your spirit rises, burdens will feel lighter, doubts will fade, your purpose will become unmistakably clear, and with this ascension comes sharper intuition, quicker answers to prayer, and a peace that cannot be shaken. You are being invited to step out of the limitations of your old self and step fully into the fullness of your divine identity. So open your heart, let go of fear, release resistance, because God's plan is far greater than anything you have ever dared to imagine, and this healing is only the beginning, the foundation upon which your higher calling will rise. And in this rising, you will also receive sudden bursts of revelation, flashes of vision that illuminate your path, answers to long-standing questions, clarity about decisions, and ideas that seem to arrive like lightning in the stillness. So record them, honor them, because these are not ordinary thoughts, but divine insight. They are the roadmap God is giving you to walk forward in alignment with destiny. And as these visions come, your faith will strengthen, your certainty will grow, your actions will become bold, guided not by fear, but by clarity. Because this is your awakening, your moment to see truth revealed, to feel destiny calling you louder than ever. And as this happens, chains that once bound you will begin to break. Addictions, fears, toxic ties, limiting beliefs, all dissolving under the power of God's healing. And though it may begin subtly with a shift in mindset or a sudden surge of resolve, soon you will realize you are free, stepping out of prisons you did not even realize had held you, breathing the fresh air of freedom, walking into new life without the weight of past burdens. This is the liberation promised to you, and every obstacle, every invisible shackle is being dismantled now. So rise in hope, knowing you will walk lighter, freer, stronger than ever. And with this freedom comes joy. Not the shallow joy that depends on circumstance, but the deep river of gladness that flows directly from God's presence. Joy that settles your mind, peace that calms your heart, a tranquility that washes fear and anxiety away, so that you can rest deeply and wake refreshed. This joy is your inheritance, your anchor, your strength. And as it floods your soul, it will overflow into every part of your life, radiating to those around you, drawing them into the light you now carry. Because when the chosen are healed, restored, and awakened, they become beacons to others, and that is who you are becoming, a living testimony, a radiant vessel, someone who has passed through sacred rest into sacred power. And so, let this final truth root in your heart. Tomorrow is not just about sleep, it is about transformation, not just about lying still, but about stepping into your destiny. This obedience is unlocking miracles. This surrender is aligning heaven to your life. And when the day closes and you rise again, you will not be the same. Your body renewed, your mind awakened, your spirit ignited, your path illuminated, and your destiny unleashed. So, chosen. 1. Honor this holy command. Yield to it without hesitation. Protect it without distraction. Receive it with gratitude and walk out of it with boldness, because your breakthrough has already begun. Your miracle is already here, and your time, your sacred time to shine has come.